Hey, my friends. Thought I'd do a quick little video update because I've had thoughts about something that seems to be doing the rounds in the news at the minute. First of all, excuse the fact I probably look a little bit messier than normal. I know I haven't shaved in a while. Been growing my hair out for a little bit. It's been a couple of weeks now. Um, and that's mainly because I've been struggling with my mental health again. So fucking yay for that. Um, so yeah, that there's that aspect. I'm seeking help. I've got there's a private health insurance through work that I'm looking at to try and get counselling there. I'm going to speak to the doctor tomorrow as well. I was getting better over the past week or so. Like I did a work event last week, which was very positive, and then most of last week I was quite positive and upbeat, and then this weekend was pretty good. You know, with it being the bank holiday here in the UK, and then today it's just taken a absolute nosedive out of from nowhere, and I have no idea why. Um, so yeah, fun. But the reason I wanted to talk to everyone today wasn't necessarily about mental health. It was about the current discussion around film bombs. Now, I don't know about anyone out there. I used to go to the cinema, not very often, but I used to enjoy seeing the Marvel films. Like I used to go and see all the Marvel films. They were my treat. I'd go and see the Marvel premiere. Try and get the midnight premiere if I could. But I think between Winter Soldier and um, I think between Winter Soldier right up until Endgame, I saw every single one in the cinema. And most of those I saw opening night. In fact, Endgame I saw twice in the cinema. Infinity War I saw twice in the cinema. Um, and there was a few I'd seen before then as well. So they were like my big event. And then there was a few other comic book related films and sci-fi films like that I tried to see in the cinema where I could. Spider Verse, for example. Turtles, I went to see in the cinema recently. Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Barbie, I went to see in the cinema last year. But there's a lot of big films, and especially in geek properties, that are not doing well at the minute in terms of their box office. I mean, obviously, there's the Marvel films, like The Marvels itself, that did not do very well. I think the last Marvel film I saw in the cinema was um, Quantum Mania. I definitely saw in the cinema. I think I saw Wakanda Forever, but right towards the end of its run in the cinema. Like, I almost missed that in the cinema. The Marvels I didn't see in the cinema. Um, Guardians I did. Um, but yeah, I've kind of fallen off the wagon with Marvel. I think the last film I think the only film I've seen in the cinema this year is Kung Fu Panda 4, and that's only because I took the kids to see it. There's not really been as much drive to go to the cinema recently. And there's plenty of films like I want to see. Like I want to see Dune, but I haven't seen Dune Part 1. I want to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I haven't seen the first, well, I've seen Rise of the Planet of the Apes years ago. I haven't seen Dawn or Rise. No, no, hang on. Whatever. I haven't seen the second and third one, the two Matt Reeves ones. So I haven't seen the fourth one. I haven't seen Godzilla X Kong in the cinema. I didn't see. I haven't seen Furiosa, which is the current one that prompted this because loads of people are saying, "Oh, Furiosa's bombing," and it's like, I haven't seen Furiosa because I also haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road. So why would I go and see Furiosa? Furiosa looks amazing, and but I haven't seen it. Now there seems to be this big talking point about why films are doing worse in the cinema. So obviously, looking at the current films that are out, the big three: Furiosa, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Bad Boys, the new Bad Boys film, that's also not doing very well apparently in its opening weekend. Um, and just a few others. And it seems to be the question seems to be, well, why are they doing worse in the cinema? Why are cinemas doing worse? And I think this is a many pronged debate topic. Like, I love film. I love watching films. I love studying films. I love talking about films, and I love the films I like. Although I can recognize a lot of great qualities in films that I even don't necessarily resonate with me, but I can recognize, like, oh, they're good films. The way that's been shot, the way that's been composited, cinematography, the composition, the music, everything. Like, I can recognize when a film is good, whether I like it or not, and vice versa. I can also recognize when a film is bad, and not just because of my own biases. Like, there's films I don't enjoy, but I can recognize they are well made films. Like, for example, most of DC's output. Um, Vice versa, there's also films that I love, but I can recognize are not very great films at all. Usually, things like, for example, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie from the 90s. I love that film. It's shit, but it's delightfully shit. That's why I love it. Now, for me, I always think there's been a certain snobbery over films and the idea that films have to be seen on the big screen in a cinema. Now, don't get me wrong, I recently, with my partner Emma, we went to see Aliens, because that went back to the cinema for its anniversary. So we went to see Aliens, which is a film we both love, and we went to see it on the big screen. Now, neither of us had seen it in the big screen because, she was too young when it came out, and I was a baby when it came out. So, neither of us had seen it on the big screen before. So, actually watching it on the big screen was really cool. However, my first experience of Aliens, and my first experience of most classic movies, has never been in the cinema. Everyone likes to say, like, every filmmaker worth their salt likes to say that cinema is the only way to experience their movie. And I totally get why they do. But for the shelf life of a movie, the theatrical run is so freaking small. Like, several weeks, if 6 weeks, couple of months if you're lucky, and then most of them end up on streaming, or on DVD as they used to back in the day, and people watch it on, if you're lucky, on their TV, which is way bigger than it used to be nowadays, but they're watching it on the TV, or if you're really unlucky, on their phone or on their computer. And your great, amazing film designed for cinema, most people who experience that film for the first time are not going to be watching it on a cinema screen. So why is there this cinema elitism? Why is there this whole, it must do well in the cinema to be a good movie? But even then, like, this is only tangentially related to the fact that these films are bombing. And I think part of it is because the cinema experience is so expensive now. And I think with COVID and the rise of modern streaming, we've all gotten quite comfortable to wait and watch things, on streaming. The cinema is expensive. There's a lot of, like, my family, that, if me, Jen, Emma, and all the kids wanted to go to a cinema, that is 8 people to go to the cinema. That is a lot of money just on tickets, never mind on snacks, drinks, a meal out, parking, etc. It's a big expense. A lot of people can't afford it nowadays. And when you're only waiting, like I said, 6 weeks, maybe 2 months at most before something's out on streaming, usually on a service that you already own, if you wait even a little bit longer, most people are just going to do that. Add to that as well, there's also not many films out at the minute. Like, there's a few coming out, family films at the minute, like Inside Out 2's on its way out, If's about to come out. But even looking at my local cinema, most of the films that are here are anniversaries. It's The Crow, it's Iron Giant, it's The Matrix, it's Star Trek 3 The Search for Spock. cinemas don't matter anymore. So what do you think? Do cinemas matter?